So I was telling him, honestly, UNSA is not felt at the basis of Cavendish University. And I feel students of Cavendish University need to feel this.
Yes.
Need to feel this because we happen to have students from different continents and we always have those student issues. I mean, we are a society that has a number of African students. We actually have students from Germany, students from Eritrea, and there are always those issues that come in, and yet, obviously, they're not comfortable. They are in an environment that is a bit foreign, and they do not have, they know that, okay, this is school leadership, and that's it. But if they get to know that actually there is a body that is ahead of just school leadership that I can actually approach and tell them about my issues, about the experience I get in schools in Uganda, then I just don't know. I just needed to tell you guys that UNSA is not felt at Cavendish University.
I will first answer. I first want to tackle some things Paul talked about. Paul talked about that about the issue of not having information. These guys at UNSA have a secretary for publicity. I don't know what's your role as secretary for publicity if you can't inform us, the general public, about what you have done. If the government spokesperson can write letters, what's wrong with you writing letters and putting them on social media? Students on social media use Twitter, use Facebook, circulate these things in guild unions, and they'll pin them. So you cannot tell us that we are not informed when you have a secretary of publicity. That's out of question. Then I will not speak for Kampala International University, but one thing I know, those people have had a chance to run for UNSA in the different years. Actually, last year, I'm not so sure if they went, but the guild president is still Evie Moses. I think he had plans to go. I'm not sure. I'm not so informed about it. But what I can say personally, he talked about the issue of government institutions. What I was somewhere having a discussion with the commissioner, and he was telling me that there are very many private schools, especially when it comes to secondary schools. Mukono has 720. Nansana municipality has 600 and something. You know, very many, and it is absurd. And you people are raising matters of tuition, but we have very many private institutions than government institutions. So what you people are advocating for are government increasing its funding to government institutions so that you can deal with the issue of tuition, like Robinson said. But vis-a-vis that, you need also to deal with the private institutions. The private institutions also need incentives so that they can reduce on the cost of running schools, so that even the students who feel like government schools are low, they can go to private schools and still enjoy them without paying a lot of money. So what I can say is UNSA is doing what they were meant to do. That is support the big man. They're not doing the work of the students.
Yes.
Paul, feel free to.
No,
I wanted.
Which big man also?
I wanted to. Of course, if you had listened to what I said earlier on, you would not make such a statement. For a matter of fact, what happens when they go to address issues of strikes in schools? Do you think they're not? What if we lose more lives? What happens? What happens? Just hold on. Just hold on. What happens when UNSA goes to seek compensation for students who have been affected? You understand? You see, in all these in all these things, I wanted us to understand from what she was telling us. UNSA is not felt in her school. UNSA is not felt in actually a number of schools. Actually, there's also a reason. Number one, just hold on. Every member of UNSA, according to the Constitution, is supposed to pay subscription fee, right? The institutions that have refused to make the subscription fees, right? Now, on our record, if you go on the record and then we are able to tell you, to present to you how many of such institutions don't remit these fees, then if being a part is supposed to be the fact that you make these payments, if you have not made the payment, do you become a part?
Well, we
Now,
have
hold
an
on,
issue.
hold
Well, I
on.
think
Just-
that should be made categorically clear.
Just
It defeats the purpose, but no one even knows that. Yes, Robinson.
Okay, I just wanted to conclude
Robinson has about payments.
of subscription.
Subscription is only done when someone wants to run for office.
Yes.
That is not true.
I'm telling you the truth because I've paid.
And that
I've
is-
paid this money.
That
As per institution.
Even
Not
at
only
the
secondary
university,
schools.
Even at the university.
I actually
In
thought
UNSA,
I actually thought that UNSA gets money that from that the school fees that we used to pay when we were in high school. I thought you deduct.
We
it.
actually have
That's what I
UNSA
thought.
fees on
Yes, on
the bank
pay-
slips.
yes, I
on the
recall
pay
that.
slips.
So,
Yes.
so
I
can
don't
I, that's why I needed us to
Very clear.
understand this.
Yeah.
Let me make something very clear before Paul comes back. You will see the wrath of UNSA when they're nearing elections, when they're coming to your offices to collect that money. It is a must. If you want to participate in these elections, you must pay the subscription fee. Now, do I have to pay subscription fees for my issues to be heard?
I'm a
Take for
student of the
instance-
Republic of Uganda.
Take for instance,
Uganda
I come
National
from
Students
Lira.
Association.
I come from Lira. I have secondary schools in my village that don't know anything about UNSA. By the time you're getting to them to talk to them that there is a students organization that needs to help you put your ideas in front of government, but before you do that, you have to pay money. What sense are you trying to make?
Paul, should we change from Uganda National Students Association to Uganda National Paying Students Association?
All right.
Because if you
let
want me to be helped and you're telling
let
me
me
to pay money,
Let me just say this. It's good for us not to look at things from a small angle. It will skew our reasoning. If you are a Ugandan and you're going to seek services in a particular hospital, right? And then there are payments made for you to access those services. In the event that you've not made those payments, you still seek to get those services through your Ugandan, right? Ordinarily speaking, we have these small circles, okay, that you gain your rights, yeah, from fulfilling certain obligations, okay? Now, this constitution was not made by us now. It was made by people many years ago. And the council has mandate to amend the constitution.
Has it?
Okay, hold up. The council has mandate to amend the constitution. In the event that council, which is the national students, I'm not talking about the National Executive Committee. I'm talking about the council, like all the students who sit together. If they then are there, if they sit and refuse to amend the constitution, what do you do? It means they still need it. All right? Now, the matter in this, just hold up. It is true.
because now
No, just hold up.
That's
Let me
true.
finish.
Me.
Let me finish this.
I was from MOOBS, I paid
You
15
actually-
need
yes.
this. You
Yes.
need this.
and still, I have paid 15 million as MOOBS, and still the ideas that I put in front of
I'm not. Actually, I wanted to ask Paul, let's just take 3 schools or 3 universities that are paying for this subscription.
Yes.
What do they earn? What do they benefit that Cavendish hasn't?
He brought a very
Just-
he brought a very serious point of someone whose hand was chopped off by the canister.
Yes.
You won't tell me Makere doesn't pay that subscription. It pays. So let's talk about the schools that pay the subscription. How have you been of help to these institutions?
Okay. You see, the issues that you're raising are very important issues, and it would be good for us to understand. Yeah, when we understand these issues very well, then when we're out there, we can enlighten others. Right? Now, one that the other who have been in leadership, I told you they had their own faults. Right? They could have done way better. Now, one of the things is that there are a number of projects. I'm going to talk in the perspective of the new NEC, because they understood, and whatever you're saying, they realized that there was a problem. Okay? Now, if there's a problem yesterday, that means the solution cannot solve yesterday's problem. It means going forward, things can change. Right? Now, the new NEC thinks that there are so many activities, that there are so many ways these students have not benefited. And yet they think these students pay this money and they have to benefit from it. So they have a number of things in place that are brought forth. Okay? In the first place, the new NEC thinks it's very important to put part of that money into science, into science innovation for students in the universities. When you have an innovative idea, they boost you up to ensure that when you're out of universities, you're actually sustainable, you can train others. Now, hold up. Now, what I'm telling you is, true, back then, there have been flaws. And whether we do what, we cannot change what happened in the past. But going forward, we can improve.
I personally, I don't. Paul, there's a thing. There was no shortage of good ideas from leadership. One leadership after the other. I don't feel there was shortage of good leadership. At implementation and structure and policies and making sure these ideas are implemented, it's a very different, because now we are talking about who's paying, who's not. Who's getting, who's not.
So get what I am saying. Of course, from the aspect of the subscription, I told you these students sit in councils almost every year, and the council is the supreme. They can say, going forward, we do not need this subscription. Okay? Or going forward, we need it to be increased. And now, for a matter of fact, in the different district councils, I've been proposing for that money to be increased. Yeah? But then what happens is that there are some universities that pay. For example, Makerere, they honestly pay that money. You can't graduate at Makerere if you're not paid UNSA fee. But there are some universities that do not pay this money.
Unfortunately, we don't have a Makerere person here, but I really would love to understand. Yeah, it's the same Makerere.
Yes.
Now, me just have a question. Sorry, I want to inform you, Paul, that I dealt in a project. It's called Schools Against Crime. We traversed the whole of this country under an organization called Youth Integrated Development Organization, with partnership with police in issues of strikes. We went everywhere, teaching students about arson, teaching students how to prepare themselves against fires. I did not see the effort of UNSA doing what we did by that time. And as a student leader, the other thing, you saying that the new national executive is here and they have things at hand. My dear, when we vote Museveni in the next general election, it does not mean poverty has gone. These issues we are raising are still there. Whether they have come or what, that does not matter. The other thing...
I'll ask Elizabeth.
Let me conclude. The other thing is this. You people are saying you're going to get the money we pay us, subscription, and put it in in science and innovation. As students, have we decided that we want science and innovation, or is the Minister of Education telling you to improve it?
No, just about that one, I want you to understand that this is not is not a kind of coercion from the ministry to do that, right? Now, if students come up with ideas, remember this is the national executive committee, right? If they come together and say, as the NEC, our students are actually, because they bring the ideas of students, yeah? Is it a bad thing to have that kind of program run? Now, what I wanted to tell you earlier on when you said that it doesn't mean that things, or if the previous guys didn't do things as you expected, I mean, does it follow that tomorrow things can change? I think it doesn't follow. If you look at the determination of the new, you can only tell if they've actually ran maybe half of their time. No, hold on, wait.
You are jumping onto other things when there are issues at hand that are pending.
No, you want
to go to science and innovation.
No.
The student, you're not felt that.
No, let me tell you, I only gave that as an example. You need to understand.
But it seems as a basis.
No, I gave that as an example, right?
I just want to find out from first of all, let's understand from Elizabeth.
Yes.
To feel, in your opinion, as or speaking on behalf of Cavendish or students at Cavendish University, tell me 2 ways you feel UNSA would fit into Cavendish.
Well, looking at UNSA's obligations, because you have a mandate that actually looks at nurturing young students, people who are into leadership, to maneuver, because you're nurturing people that will replace the different government positions and everything. But do you actually think that the students that we have at our universities are live in government issues? They have a take in government issues, like what is happening, what's going on, where we are going wrong in the economy. Do you think our students are really are really knowledgeable about what's happening in our government, actually realizing that our patron is actually the president, that somehow cripples the bit of nurturing young leaders, because I'm sure we are supposed to be nurtured on the basis of our understanding. We're supposed to have independent ideologies. But then we are somehow suppressed. I was listening to these people's arguments, and he was telling us on how they actually determine who steps into office. And I think that's not the kind of leadership you'd love the people you're nurturing to step into. So I would love to see Cavendish students, or maybe our leaders, portraying the beauty of leadership, even when it comes to student matters, and also how they can merge their ability to actually help students with the future ability, because these are the leaders that will partake those offices in government. And then the other issue is that you people should come along in universities, because I do not see you people around. You people should come and maybe
that's a good one.
You should come and hold conferences. I mean, talk about UNSA. Educate us, enlighten us, and tell us about your obligations.
The secretariat is
They
busy.
will only come if they want you to subscribe. That's it.
Hold up. But,
Members,
I want to disagree with
AMCI Radio for African Voices.